First and foremost, just want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to join the official Know Before You Go call before we gather in May for the 2025 PGA Championship. We're officially 27 days away before the best players in the world come to Charlotte, North Carolina. Before we get started, we're just going to hear from a few folks who make all of this possible, and none of it could be possible without our championship director, Jason Susi. Jace, if you want to say a few words.
I think that's probably up for debate, Murph, but appreciate the shout out there. Everyone, again, to echo Murphy's comments, we are thrilled to be able to host everyone here today, 27 days out until the major championship returns to Charlotte for the second time. And I just personally want to thank everyone on this call on behalf of the PGA of America and Quail Hollow Club for your support of the PGA Championship. Another record-setting year for us here in Charlotte. We set some wonderful records in the hospitality space in 2017 and set another record here for 2025. And it's a testament to the city of Charlotte, the way the business community supports events that come into the marketplace, and everyone here in this group. Hopefully, we're really thrilled to be able to offer this opportunity for our hospitality along the Green Mile finishing holes. The aesthetics of the Green Mile is something that really can't be replicated anywhere else. So we're thrilled you're all planning to participate here next month, and look forward to hearing today's presentation.
Thanks, Jason. And Brian and Sarah, who are the catalysts behind this sales program. Brian, if you'll say a few words.
Yeah, thanks, Murphy, and thanks, Jason. I just want to echo the statements that Jason made. Thank you all so much for your support of this championship, golf at Quail Hollow in general. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting weeks of the year in Charlotte. So very happy that you guys are all involved, whether you're in Skybox on 18 or 17. Both are in such great locations and are going to have amazing views of golf, of the surrounding holes, and just super excited to have you guys all on board with us. We've got a pretty good Masters champ that has some good history here at Quail as well. So look forward to seeing if he could try and get 2 in a row. But thank you guys all for being here. And Murphy, thank you for setting all this up.
Thank you. Sarah?
Hey, everyone. I'm Sarah, the one who sends you guys lots of emails. For those of you I have not met, I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you and have really enjoyed working with all of you up to this point. And I'm super excited for the championship. We're 28 days away, 27 days away, and we can't be more excited to see all of you.
Thanks, Sarah. And last person we want to hear from today is our National Sales Director, John Hanley.
Yeah, thanks, Murph. Just to echo everybody's sentiments, we're beyond excited for this championship, and there's no shortage of great memories going back to the 2007 PGA Championship. And in a lot of ways, our planning for this particular championship goes back to that extent. So it's great to see a lot of familiar faces on this call, and we cannot wait to spend some time with you in person. This championship in particular has had really some record results to it, and the corporate support that we received, to Jason's point earlier, is a key component in how we evaluate the success of these events. So it really speaks volumes about not just Charlotte, but then also the other entities that will be coming in from outside the market. And we're literally days away from getting down there on site. We cannot wait to spend some time with you all in person. And with that, I'll kick it back to Murph.
Thanks, John. All right, so a few housekeeping items before we dive into today's call. We kindly just ask that everyone stay on mute for the duration of the call. We will be pausing several times for question and answer sessions. This call is formal, but it's also informal at the same time. We consider you guys an extension of our hospitality family, so feel free to stop me at any point in time, ask your questions, and we'll make sure you guys have full confidence heading into the PGA Championship. If you have a question, feel free to use the hand raising function at the bottom of your screen, or there's also a chat function in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen where you can enter or type any questions, and then we will read those aloud for the group's answer. Isaiah, if you will, go ahead and drop the link to the planner site. That link is the planner site if anyone wishes to follow along. This presentation will be recorded, and we will pass the recording along as soon as we wrap up with today's presentation. So all that said, we're going to cover a lot of materials. Presumably, each of you all on this call are either the planner or the coordinator on behalf of your your company's hospitality Skybox. So this is a lot of pertinent information to not only achieve that return on your investment with your Skybox purchase, but ensure that your guests have the most memorable experience. For a lot of them, this is their Super Bowl of sorts. So we're very excited to have you with us, and we want to make sure we cross all T's and dot I's ahead of next month's major championship. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started with some of the material we'll cover today. All right. On my screen is the Hospitality Planner website. This is the planning Bible, for lack of a better word. It houses every single thing that you need to know about the PGA Championship, the PGA of America, and how to best execute your hospitality purchase. The first item that we want to cover today is the course map. So on my screen, you see a tentative course map. It's very important to call out that this course map is not yet final. Our design team, as well as our operations team, are still checking a few boxes, but as soon as that course map is approved by everyone, we will be not only uploading the final course map to this planning website, but there will also be a link for you to download a PDF and forward that PDF to any of your guests, print it off, etc. It's important that we cover the course map today because all of these hospitality access codes on the left-hand side of my screen are approved and are the access codes that your guests would not only see on their digital ticket, but would also indicate where they need to go once they get on the grounds of Quail Hollow Club. We will be covering digital tickets later in today's presentation, but these access codes are important to familiarize yourself with. So those of you on the call have either purchased a Skybox on 18 fairway or 17 green. So if you're an 18 fairway purchaser, your access code will be S1. If you're a Skybox on 17 green, your access code will be S2. No need to really remember that right now. We will be sending out further information, but that access code, like I said, will be on your digital tickets, so your guests know exactly where they need to go. If they ask a volunteer, if they ask a staff member, hey, I have an S1 code on the Skybox as an 18 fairway. How do I get there? So it's very intuitive, and we've done a lot of the guesswork, taken a lot of the guesswork out of the equation. So highly encourage you to familiarize yourself with this course map, knowing that a final one will be coming soon, which you can download and forward to any guest. A few items to call out on the course map. We highly encourage you to send this so your guests can not only know where the PGA Championship shops are, but certain wayfinding points such as the practice range or the concession areas or the markets. A very, very great perk as a part of your hospitality package is each of your guests will have access to what we're calling our Championship Plus program. So when the final course map is posted, you will see all of the concession stands, and that Championship Plus program grants all of your your guests access to free complimentary NA beverage and food at all of our concession stands. So if your guest wanted to walk the course, follow the group, and they wanted to get a hamburger, hot dog, a soda, whatever, they can do so all free of charge. It's important to note that any of the concession stands do require payment for alcohol. Your hospitality venue will, of course, have complimentary alcohol, but it's just best to manage those expectations on the front end as a part of that Championship Plus program. But I think your guest satisfaction will be very high with this Championship Plus program, because not only will they be entertained in the hospitality venue, but they will have a certain level of hospitality out on the grounds of Quail Hollow Club. Before we pause for questions about the course map, I also want to draw your attention to a page on the planning website, which is the venue locations and walk times. So as you can see on my screen, I'll use the Skyboxes on 18 fairway. We've taken some of the guesswork out for you that you can plan for your to pass along to your guests. So let's say, for example, you have a Skybox on 18 fairway. It's going to take you roughly 3 minutes to get to the first tee. We've posted this information so you can communicate this to your guests. to best budget their experience and their time accordingly. So let's say, for example, one of your guests, their favorite player is Rory McIlroy. He or she wants to grab a cocktail, a little bite to eat, and see him tee off on the first tee. So you can say, this is roughly how long it's going to take you. And if you want to go see him if he's going off on the back nine, etc. So these are just helpful little tips that we encourage you to familiarize yourself with and forward along to your guest. So that will wrap up kind of the portion of the course map in these specific venue walk times. And I want to pause there if there are any questions, knowing that a final course map will be forthcoming.
One quick question, Murph. Do the championship plus benefits apply to the practice rounds as well, or just champ rounds? And Amanda, that will apply to the practice rounds as well. So any guests you have that come on those practice round days, they will have access to the championship plus program.
And that's a very good question. I'll just expand on that a little bit more. Your guests, they won't need any type of digital ticket, wristband, etc., to gain access at those concession stands. Everyone on the grounds can simply walk up, grab a complimentary food item and in a beverage. Just, it's very important that you communicate if they do go to one of those concession stands and want an alcoholic beverage, they would have to purchase those. Okay, and we will be covering quite a bit of material today. So if there's anything that kind of sparks in your mind about a previously covered item, feel free to stop us and we're happy to revert back when the time is right. The next item kind of going hand in hand with this is parking. So I'm sure many of you are curious about the parking situation and how you're going to communicate that to your guests. One extremely valuable perk as a Skybox purchaser is each of you get a certain allotment of physical lot C1 parking hang tags. These physical parking tags will be mailed to you next week. If you remember back in February, we had requested a address submission for us to mail these physical parking tags. If you have any questions about what address you submitted, feel free to reach out to our team, Sarah Grubb specifically, and we'll inform you of that address. But just know that these physical parking hang tags will be mailed out next week. And just to go over a few of the finer details of Lot C1, where each of you all will be parking, it is at the South Park Mall. We have posted the address for you if you wish to copy and paste this or forward along to any of your guests. They simply can throw it in their Maps app, and it will take them directly to the parking lot C1. We will have parking lot attendants, not only ushering guests to park into the next available space, but there will be parking attendants showing you where the shuttle is, because each of your guests, once they park their vehicle, will have to board a air-conditioned shuttle that takes roughly 15 minutes to the corporate hospitality entrance on the grounds of Quail. One perk is that each of you as hospitality purchasers will have a hospitality-specific entrance. So you don't have to really worry about intermingling with the general public or the long queuing lines, etc. This will be an efficient kind of drop-off check-in area so you can get to your hospitality venue, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the PGA Championship as quickly as possible. A few items to call out is the parking lot service is paved, so you don't have to worry about any kind of inclement weather trapping your vehicle. We have posted the lot hours. So if your guest, once again, we encourage you to pass these along so they can best manage their experience, know when the parking lot becomes operational, when the shuttles become operational. And probably the most important point to hammer home about the Lot C1 is any and all vehicles that are left overnight will be towed. So it's very important if your guests come to the PGA Championship and they have a great time and they leave their vehicle, it's important that someone is coming to get that, or they make arrangements to make sure it's not left overnight. Before we pause for questions about the parking and rideshare details, I also want to cover rideshare. So rideshare is becoming increasingly popular, as we know, and the rideshare lot is roughly a 5-minute walk from the main entrance of Quail Hollow. So we encourage you to promote rideshare. Our operations team works directly with the Uber and Lyft operations team. So we have kind of turned over every stone when it comes to the wait times, the queuing lines, etc. It is important to note, given the scope and size of this major championship, during the peak hours, so arrival and departure times, there probably will be a extended wait because we have to find vehicles in the local market. A lot of guests are trying to leave at the same time. So highly encourage you, if you are going to promote rideshare to your guests, that you're saying, estimate another, 10, 12 minutes for pickup and drop off waiting times, because we do, although we work directly with Uber and Lyft, we're only as good as the market and the vehicles that are available at the current time. So it's important you're managing those expectations when it comes to parking, because we don't want your guest experience to be off on the wrong foot before they even get to the hospitality venue. It is important to note that only Uber, Lyft, or taxi will be the permitted vehicles into the rideshare area. There won't be any type of drop and go, no limo service, etc. So only those Uber, Lyft, taxi approved vehicles will be permitted into the rideshare area. So that was a lot to cover on the reserved parking lot with your lot C1 and the rideshare. We'll pause for questions as it relates to parking.
Couple questions for you, Murph. The first of which is, are the parking lots and the corporate entrance the same for the practice rounds as they are the championship rounds?
That's correct. If you are a Lakeside Club purchaser, or excuse me, if you are a Skybox purchaser, which all of you all are on this call, you all will be parking at the same lot Monday through Sunday.
Thank you, Murph. Another question. Can guests take the shuttle from South Park even if they're not physically parking in that lot?
Yes, but it's important to note that our operations team that is managing that lot will not permit drop and go. So if you have to park your vehicle and then exit the vehicle and then allow the next vehicle. In theory, you could park your car and then leave the lot, but it will not operate as a drop and go because we will be ushering each vehicle to park in the next available spot. Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, Murph, I think just to clarify a little bit, it sounds like there's a few folks who have offices close to that parking lot. So I think they're wondering if they could just walk over. If you walked up to the lot from elsewhere, would you be able to board the shuttle?
Yes, we will probably have a checks and balances for corporate clients only, because this is an exclusive perk to you all as hospitality purchasers. So if you are going to walk up, we encourage you to have your digital ticket present just in case it becomes an issue and we need to audit the user groups boarding those shuttles.
Great, thank you. I think that's everything in the chat for now.
Okay. We know parking is an integral part of the program. So once again, if something comes up later on the call about parking or rideshare, feel free to stop us and we're happy to revert back and cover any of those questions. I won't spend too much time on this next topic, but I want to make you guys aware, because you are planners or coordinators on behalf of your hospitality. All of our hospitality venues, or rather any structure on site, so if it's a concession stand, if it's a hospitality venue, parking lot, shuttle service, etc., everything is ADA compliant. This is in an effort of the PGA of America to make all of our championships fair and memorable for all. So we just encourage you, I won't go over this line by line, but we encourage you, if you have any guests that require ADA services, to pass this along, as well as it covers service animals and notable areas about ADA compliancy. So want to make sure you guys have peace of mind of we accommodate all guests, and encourage you to pass this along should you need to accommodate any guests. Moving forward to the next piece of the presentation are the hours of operation. So I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm not going to go line by line on this. Rather, I want to make sure you guys know that the hours of operation are 100% approved by our operations team and our corporate services team. So you can feel free to forward these along to your guests. We encourage you to not only forward them along because it allows your guests to have the most memorable experience, budget their transportation time, budget how long they need to get to the venue, walk around, grab a cocktail, grab food, etc. So these are approved. I think the most important call out about the hours of operation is that each of our hospitality venues will open at 7:30 a.m. Thursday through Sunday, and they will close when the final putt drops. So as soon as the last contestant makes his putt, the hospitality venue will close as well. And we encourage you to do so. So Your guests are all exiting. They're not missing any shuttle times, etc. So highly, highly encourage you to review the hours of operation, pass them along, and be transparent with the hours of ops so your guests can budget accordingly and have the most memorable experience possible. In the same vein as the hours of operation, I want to go over the prohibited items. Our prohibited items are very standard, and pretty similar to a NFL, NBA, MLB stadium, etc. There aren't any kind of nuances. The most important call outs for those of you on the call is our bag policy. Our bag policy is 10 by 10 by 10. The bag does not have to be clear. So if any gals have a purse or anything like that, as long as it meets those 10 by 10 by 10 dimensions, it will be permitted on the grounds of Quail Hollow. All bags will be subject to search, of course, but just important that you're passing that along so your guest doesn't arrive to the site, have a bag that's a little bit too big, and then is turned around to put that bag in their vehicle or back where it belongs. One important call out is each of you on this call will have a planner badge. The planner badge operates as a ticket, but it also operates or permits greater privileges. And those greater privileges kind of include circumventing the prohibited items. So with your planner badge, you can bring in a backpack, a laptop, supplies to aid in any of your planning services. But it's just very important that if you are going to bring any of those items that would naturally be on the prohibited items, but you have your planner staff badge, that it is present with you when you enter the gates. You won't have any type of bag tag or anything like that. You'll just have to go through security. And if you have the planner staff badge, our security team knows to permit you with those select items. Are there any questions over the material we've discussed? I know we kind of went quickly through the hours of ops and the prohibited items.
I think we're good in the chat at this time, Murphy.
Okay, excellent. Educated group. We love it. The next item we want to cover is our weather policy. So unfortunately, this is the worst part of the presentation, but we have to make you guys aware of it nonetheless. As you can see on my screen, so we have a yellow weather warning sign. If the yellow weather warning sign is posted, this simply means that we have inclement weather in the nearby area. It could be 15, 20 miles away, but we have a meteorologist who is on site from sun up to sundown, and he or she is letting us know of any inclement weather for the safety of all guests on site. So if the yellow weather warning sign is posted, it simply means that there is some inclement weather. Once again, it could be right above us or pretty far away, but we're just raising caution to it. Nothing has changed. So the food and beverage is still being served. The bar is open. The concessions are open. Play is still going. It's simply raising awareness. Alternatively, if we see the red play suspended sign, this means that inclement weather is probably directly above us, and it is encouraged that guests take shelter as play has been suspended for a certain amount of time. Thankfully for each of you on this call, you do have a hospitality venue that you can retreat to. However, given the temporary nature of these hospitality venues and keeping the safety as the most important aspect of it all, we will make a determination if the hospitality venue is safe to enter or not, based on the severity of the weather at the given moment. You know, obviously, Mother Nature is unpredictable, so we have to play it by ear as it comes. So if it's just some heavy rain, we will more than likely allow you to enter into the hospitality venue. One piece of good news is during a play suspension, and if the hospitality venue is open, the bar will remain open, the food service will remain open, the TVs will be operational, and you're able to kind of retreat out of the inclement weather. So it is a perk. Your experience will still be good. Now, in the event of very severe inclement weather, we will take precautionary measures to either exit to a brick and mortar structure or evacuate the grounds entirely. To aid in this planning process, we have created a text alert sign-up form. This form takes about 30 seconds to complete. Simply enter your first name, last name, and your cell phone number. And then we use this text communication to send out any notices about that inclement weather. So let's say we have a bad weather cell about 15 minutes or 15 miles away. We would simply send you a text just giving you a heads up. Or if we need your guests to evacuate immediately, we would do so via our text communication. So this is just an effort to be completely transparent and keep the mode of communication lines open at all times. We encourage you as planners or coordinators to complete this as soon as possible so you can be added to our text alert system. If you will, just do us a favor and keep the text alert system to you guys planning specifically. We would prefer not to have your end user on this text alert system because we do send official notices such as frost warnings, etc. So it is a very convenient tool, but just keep that exclusive to you all as planners and coordinators on behalf of your hospitality. So are there any questions about the weather policy or this text alert sign-up form that we've recently discussed?
I think we're all good in the chat.
Okay, very good. The next piece I want to cover are our communication best practices. So each of you all as Skybox purchasers have a very, very valuable hospitality ticket and a very, very, very valuable hospitality venue that you want to entertain and you want to achieve an ROI on your investment. So we've posted a convenient tool here, and these are custom invitations, RSVP forms, if you wish to invite any guests and take kind of the legwork out of inviting your guests and firming up who you're going to entertain. These are simple PDFs that you can download. You can add your company logo. You can say you're invited on behalf of XYZ company. These are email headers down at the bottom of your screen. And we've also provided some helpful tips of how you can reference the PGA Championship, how you can reference Quail Hollow Club. So everything is uniform and meeting our branding guidelines. So I won't spend too much time on that, but just know in the back of your mind that you have custom RSVPs at your disposal if you want to take out some of the invitation work off your plate and make it as seamless as possible. And that kind of leads me into the most important part of this presentation, which are the tickets. I'm sure many of you are wondering when you will receive your tickets, how you manage your tickets, and how you navigate those waters. Before we dive into the ticket presentation, I just want to level set with each of you about SeatGeek. So SeatGeek is our official partner with the PGA of America. They've handled our Ryder Cup, PGA Championship, Senior PGA, Women's PGA. We're in year 2 with SeatGeek, and I can tell you our customer satisfaction has never been higher with SeatGeek. I understand Ticketmaster is I believe, the preferred vendor in the Charlotte area, but want to give you guys peace of mind about how SeatGeek is very easy to use. And the reason we do digital tickets is, let's say when we did physical tickets, I sent a physical ticket to someone who lived a few hours away and he or she became ill and could no longer attend. The beauty of digital tickets is I can simply retract tickets. I can manage tickets to ensure that I'm getting 100% redemption rate and really achieving that return on my investment. So just keep in mind that digital tickets via SeatGeek are very intuitive. It's very simple, and we're here to support you throughout any of your ticket management needs. We're giving you your tickets about a month out as a healthy runway for you to manage your guest list. So before we dive into kind of the step-by-step instructions, I want to just go over a few key highlights. So each of you will receive your digital ticket allotment by end of week. Once again, we wanted to kind of give you a month to manage your ticket inventory. We've posted helpful links to educate you on how you can retract those tickets, how you send those tickets. I won't go into it too much detail, but it's as simple as entering a phone number, an email address, and hitting send in the number of tickets that you want to send. So it's very, very simple. But the most important thing that we have to kick off is how do you get into your SeatGeek account? So we have taken the liberty of creating each of you a SeatGeek account. If you remember back in February, we had asked for an email address for you to submit to the PGA for us to go ahead and not only create you a SeatGeek account, but where we want to send all your tickets. If you're unsure of what email address you sent us, simply send an email to Sarah Grubbs and we'll inform you of that, and we can help you through that process. But by end of week, each of you will be receiving an email from info@SeatGeek.com letting you know that your tickets are available. All you have to do is simply follow the instructions on the email that you receive. It takes about a 1-minute setup process, and then you're into your SeatGeek account and you can begin transferring those tickets. So moving forward to the end of week, I've received my email from info@SeatGeek.com. I'm simply going to follow the instructions on the email. It's a very intuitive process. I'm going to click connect account. Once again, the most important process here is using the same email address that you submitted back in February. I'm going to click register, enter that email address that I submitted to the PGA, enter my first name, last name, and the password. So the password, once you reset the password, transfers the ownership from the PGA of America to you as the end user. So you'll enter your email address, first name, last name, a new and unique password to you specifically, click sign up and connect account, and you're finished. So I know it's hard to retain that on a digital call. That's why we've posted these step-by-step instructions. If you've managed any type of digital tickets, it is kind of the same suit, just a different branding, if you will. So I don't want to cause any alarm, but I want to give you guys reassurance that it's a very, very easy process. One thing before we pause for questions is if you have purchased through the PGA of America last year in 2024 and you received tickets and you have a SeatGeek account, those tickets will already be deployed in your account. So you don't have to go through this setup ownership process. Those tickets will already be deployed in your SeatGeek account by end of week. So all of that said, we'll pause for questions as it relates to the digital tickets and the SeatGeek platform.
Nothing in the chat at this time, Murphy.
Okay.
Oh, real quick. Do all end users need a SeatGeek account to receive a ticket? Yes, Carson. So anybody looking to gain access to the PGA Championship will need to have a SeatGeek account in order to show their ticket and get that scanned. However, any guests that you're sending these tickets to, they won't need to go through the same linking process. This is something that's specific for the hospitality program, for a large quantity of tickets, for ease with your distribution. Any of your guests, it'll simply be you send them a ticket, they log into their regular account, and it'll be there for their use. And I think that's the only one as of right now, Murphy.
Okay. Very good. Well, yeah, once again, just have peace of mind that the digital ticket platform is simple and very intuitive. One thing I failed to mention as it relates to your hospitality tickets, as you're navigating this planning process and you're firming up your guest list, it's very important that you're asking if your guests are bringing juniors, because everyone entering the hospitality venue must have a hospitality ticket. So we've seen an instance where a husband and wife bring a kid and they don't have a digital ticket and they're expecting admittance into the hospitality venue. Unfortunately, we have to have the difficult conversation that everyone has to have a digital ticket or digital hospitality ticket to enter that venue. So very, very important question to ask when you're going through this ticket process. But that will wrap up the ticketing portion of this call. And that's actually the final piece of today's presentation. I want to be clear that, yes, we are a month out, but the conversation doesn't stop here. Rather, it rather picks up. So don't feel like this is kind of the last touch point before we host you all in May. We're here day and night to answer any questions via email, text, in-person meetings, etc. So we're here to make sure that this is the most memorable PGA Championship and you all are achieving a return on your investment at the end of the day. That will wrap up today's presentation. It was a lot of information that we covered, but we're happy to stay on as long as we can to round out the hour so you all have full confidence heading into May.
Murph, as we're kind of wrapping up here, one question about Skybox decor. Are folks ever able to decorate their own Skybox and provide giveaways and such to their guests?
Sure. So this one is unique. We do have an official provider, Salem Sports, who offers a turnkey decorative package for your Skybox. I'll show you where that is on the planning website. As you can see here, there's a branding package that you can take advantage of for your Skybox. Obviously, with the month deadline, we may be a little tight, but I believe we can still accommodate any branding. For the specific question about external branding, we do not permit, let's say like neon signage or any external pop-up banners, pop-up flags to be entered into the venue. Everything must be routed through our official provider. In terms of the giveaway question, certainly any dual logo merchandise, any hats, sundries, anything of that nature that you wish to give out, by all means. It just has to either fit into and through the prohibited items or during the walkthrough meeting that we will be communicating here soon, where each of you can bring goods onto the site of Quail Hollow and store them in your suite. So hopefully that answered your question. But I know there's great. I know there's about 40 folks on the call. Once again, we're happy to stay on as long as you wish. Abigail, that's a good question about leftover night. We will have a lockable storage unit for you all. However, I would not leave any items out in the open. We do have cleaning crews and overnight crews, restocking the coolers, cleaning venues. We have seen items walk away. So it's very important that you're putting everything in your lockable provided storage, which we'll go over as we near the championship. Okay. Well, thank you all for taking time out of your